All right, sorry about that, Mr. Simmons. Please go ahead.
Lee Street, Memphis, Tennessee, 38107. The last time I was here, you read off the part about where they gave my wife a settlement, but you would not read the part about no money shall be paid to Stephen Simmons from the city of Memphis. So what settlement did I get?
I don't have any comments, Mr. Simmons. We've debated this. Have a copy of the check. How you released
But
it.
the check
That's,
wrote to me.
sir,
I
have
received nothing from the city of Memphis for getting hurt on this job. Losing toes and other body parts.
Brooke, will you please display? That's all I have, Mr. Simmons. You released yourself, and that's the check that you signed to release it over.
I did not sign the check because I didn't get no check.
Sir, I have the documents where you signed that.
I did not sign no check because I didn't get a check.
What does that say, sir?
What did it say where?
That's what your signature said that you can release, sir, Mr. Simmons.
That said Vivian Simmons.
Mr. Simmons, listen to me, sir.
I'm listening.
Okay.
That don't say Stephen. That said Vivian Simmons.
All right, you're not listening to me, so I can't answer your question. The documentation that you signed released that money to your wife or whomever Miss Vivian is. You okayed for that settlement amount to go to Miss Vivian, sir. I'm not, Mr. Simmons, let me hold up, Mr. Simmons. There isn't an end game for me. I wanted to do the research because you came down here and I wanted to share with you there is nothing the Memphis City Council can do on this matter. You signed the paperwork, sir. I didn't make you sign it.
I did not sign.
All right. Mr. Jones, you recognize, sir.
Mr. Simmons, I guess for probably 2.5 years that I've been on the council, you've come down here, and I've been sympathetic to your issue. I always say, I am not a lawyer, but I can read. And interpretations may be different, but I only have one piece of paper, and presumably you provided it. Where's the rest of it, Mr. Simmons? So you're asking us to base a determination on one sheet. Now,
Mr. Jones, I have the whole file.
Right. Okay, but so without even the file, here's how I'm reading this, colleagues. There's a number 4 in here, Stephen Simmons and Vivian Simmons. So I've seen cases before where the injured may have received a settlement, but then the spouse can too for loss of consortium. So right, but Mr. Simmons, but it still says in here, Stephen Simmons and Vivian Simmons,
number 1,
acknowledge that this release shall bind all persons, entities claiming through them, but have all further claims, causes of actions, demands, rights, damages, costs, loss of services. It also says in here too that this was done with prejudice. Upon execution of this agreement, the city shall pay to Vivian Simmons total sum of $210,000. No payment shall be made from the city to Stephen Simmons.
Look at the signature page.
But he didn't provide.
I have the signature page.
What I'm saying to Mr. Simmons, you're just bringing part of the story here.
Yeah,
Paper that I signed
Alan, please put that, give that to Brooke to display that on the screen. This is your signature, Mr. Simmons.
But the paper that I signed did not state this.
Sir, that's the document.
It says no money will be paid to Stephen Simmons. I don't know where this shell come from afterwards. This is not the document that I signed. Sitting in front of my attorney, this is not the document that I signed. And when they changed it up, I don't know.
Mr. Simmons,
but my thing is,
Mr. Simmons,
I'm the one got hurt on the job.
Mr. Simmons,
I'm the one got crushed. I'm the one lost body parts. I'm the one have. Why you cut everything off? Anybody hear the truth?
No, it's not cut off, sir. You're still talking.
I'm the one that's still losing. I got around my foot where they amputated my toes because
Mr.
of
Simmons,
this incident.
here's the thing. You keep saying this to us, but we don't have anything to do with your settlement. You signed the documents. The council, we did not sign the documents. I'm not an attorney. Only attorney in here, I think, is Alan Wade and Brooke. Sorry. And Lakeith. So therefore, I can't give you legal advice. I merely was reading what was signed. I've gone above and beyond to try to research this because you kept coming down here and it intrigued me and I was interested.
Which I did.
Sir, you gave that right to Miss Vivian.
No, I didn't give anything. That was her settlement. For loss of control, just like the gentleman said. That didn't have anything to do with me. I'm the one got run over by the truck.
Mr. Wade, sir,
I'm the one got hurt on the job.
Okay, Mr. Simmons, you're 2 minutes up, sir. Hold on.
Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Document number 1. Vivian Simmons, the total sum of $210,000. Then it says, no payment shall be made from the city of Memphis to Stephen Simmons. Okay, you with me? All right, then
Yes, sir.
Then if you turn the page, hold
Mr.
on,
Simmons.
Hold on, Miss Simmons. Hold on. Hold on, Miss Simmons. All right, then you look at the signature page. My goodness, look who signed it. Stephen Simmons. Why don't we look at you agreed no payment would be paid to you. Case over. Sorry.
Let's go up.
Mr. Simmons. Mr. Simmons. Mr. Simmons. Let's have some order in here, please. Mr. Simmons.
Order, Mr. Simmons. No, sir.
Simmons.
We respect you. We've listened to you. Every time you come down here, we listen to you and we respect you. We come out, we do our homework. I shared with you before, I said, sir, this is an issue that you have to take up with the administration. But at this point, Mr. Simmons, there's nothing the administration can do. There's nothing that we can do. It's done. You signed it away. You said you had gone to see an attorney. You can't even hire an attorney. You basically put a nail in your own coffin when you signed that document. If you had legal representation, you need to have a conversation with them.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Let me just say one thing. I mean, we, at the tail end of our agenda, we get requests from citizens all the time. Y'all are very patient, and you have been extremely patient with Mr. Simmons, who's probably been here, how many times do we meet? 26 times a year? 24 times? Oh, you can probably multiply that times 10, the number of times he's been down here making this same case. When we get these requests, we are not a court. We are not their lawyer. Mr. Simmons, if you believe you've been wronged, I am on your side. Get you a lawyer, take it across the street, but quit bringing it here because we are not a court and can't do anything to help you. That's where we are. I mean, take some advice. Get a lawyer. And if you find a lawyer that believes in you and thinks you've been wrong, they will take it across the street and represent your interests. We cannot do that. Your case, as far as we're concerned, is closed until a court comes back and tells us we have to do something else. So that's all I can tell you. You can come down here 100 more times. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Okay?
Thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to Mr. Jones.
Mr. Simmons, the last thing I want to say is, as Mr. Wade just indicated, if we get an order from the court telling us to do anything, Mr. Simmons, please know we will abide by it. But based upon what our counsel is telling us, there's nothing that we just can't arbitrarily act and do something. The court can, as it relates to this particular case. So,
Mr. Simmons. Mr. Simmons.
right.
we're done with this, sir. All right, Minister Yahweh, Paul Garner, Bonnie Chittister.